You wake up, no alarm, no boss texting you, no place you have to be. You stretch, sit by the fire, and ask yourself one question. What do I feel like doing today? For 300,000 years, that wasn't a fantasy. That was just Tuesday. And the answer would shock you, because it looks nothing like your life right now. The average person today will spend 90,000 hours working before they die. A third of your waking life. Hand it over to a job. But here's the thing. For 99% of human history, jobs didn't exist. No employment, no wages, no boss. So what were people actually doing with all that time? In 1963, an anthropologist named Richard Lee went and lived with a hunter-gatherer tribe in Botswana to find out. What he discovered broke the assumption everyone had. Adults worked about 17 hours a week to get all the food they needed. That's it. Less than half of what you work. And it wasn't a fluke. Anthropologists checked this same thing in Tanzania, in Paraguay, in Australia. Completely different continents, completely different environments. Same result, every time. 15 to 20 hours a week on survival. The rest? Theirs. But maybe you're thinking, okay, but that's modern people living old lifestyles. How do we know actual ancient humans lived like this? The bones tell us. When you compare skeletons of hunter-gatherers to early farmers, the farmers are shorter, riddled with cavities, arthritic from repetitive labor, and dead younger. The hunter-gatherers? Taller, stronger, healthier teeth. Their bones prove they weren't grinding away at survival all day. And then there's the evidence that really shouldn't exist if life was one long, desperate scramble to survive. Art. Deep in a cave in southern France, explorers found paintings of horses and lions, 30,000 years old, with shading, perspective, movement. Someone sat by firelight for hours, maybe days, just to make something beautiful. Not to eat. Not to survive. In South Africa, archaeologists found shell beads drilled into jewelry, 100,000 years old. The nearest coast was 20 kilometers away. Someone walked 40 kilometers round trip, then spent hours drilling tiny holes with stone tools, just to look good. In Germany, a flute carved from a vulture bone, 40,000 years old, with 5 perfectly spaced finger holes. Someone understood music and spent real time crafting an instrument for it. This is what people did with their freedom. They made things beautiful. So let's actually walk through a day. You wake at dawn, eat leftovers from yesterday's hunt. Breakfast is loud, social, unhurried. Maybe a small group heads out to gather food, but not everyone, and not every day. If there's food stored, you might just stay. Sharpen a spear. Weave a basket. Not because anyone's making you, because being good at things earns respect. If a hunt does happen, it's not the sprinting chase from the movies. Humans are persistence hunters. We jog steadily for hours until the animal overheats and collapses. We're one of the only species on Earth that can do that. 3 to 6 hours, and by early afternoon, the productive part of the day is basically done. Then comes the part modern people can't wrap their heads around. Nothing. People rest. They nap. They groom each other. They make jewelry. One anthropologist found that a hunter-gatherer group spent roughly 6 hours a day just socializing. Talking, laughing, doing nothing that produces anything at all. And at night, something even stranger happens. Researchers recorded hundreds of hours of conversation around the fire and found that daytime talk was practical. Who saw tracks where, who didn't share fairly. But at night, 81% of conversations turned into stories. Myths. Ancestors. Jokes. This, some researchers argue, is where human culture, gods, meaning, imagination, was actually born. They didn't even sleep like you. Before artificial light, humans slept in 2 separate blocks, with an hour or 2 of quiet wakefulness in the dark between them. So here's a full day, 4 to 6 hours on food, 6 hours purely social, 8 hours sleep, split in two, and hours of just existing, watching clouds, not justifying your time to anyone. Then, about 10,000 years ago, everything changed. Humans started farming. And farming is a trap. It feeds more people, so more people are born, so you need more farming, and there's no going back. The bones prove it again. Farmers worked harder, ate worse, died younger. But the population kept growing. And that's how we got specialists. Tool makers, soldiers, priests. Eventually, jobs. The idea that your time belongs to someone else in exchange for survival. You'll spend 90,000 hours working in your life. They spent a fraction of that. You call waking at 2 a.m. insomnia. They called it the space between two sleeps. You chase success by rules society invented. They woke up already free, already enough. They didn't need to retire into the life you're working your whole existence to reach. They were already living it.